And we're back with the grand finals between Team Secret and MnM Gaming. And seeing MnM so far taking that first map. Yes, Jess, we know you predicted it. Don't worry about it. And with the second map now, it will be Bank. Going to be a lot tougher for this team. But you know what? From what we've seen, it's definitely possible.
If MnM win this map against Team Secret, it is undeniable to me that MnM are one of the best teams around at the moment, especially in Challenger League. Obviously, they've dominated, but if they win this against Team Secret, it shows their sheer skill.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, but I think they are going to have probably more of an uphill struggle to do that than they did on Border. But let's not forget, there's a mental game at play here as well. How much has that first result rocked Secret? They are a Pro League team, plenty of experience, so I would certainly be expecting them to reset and to come back strong, but that might not be the case. If they've got a bit tilted, then who knows what might happen.
Doesn't matter how high tier or low tier are you as a player, you do get tilted, let's be honest. It doesn't matter, shape or form. I've been tilted, we've all been tilted, we've all been there. And it can be a little bit of a pain, but with Team Secret, they have more experience in that field. And it's a matter of, if they take this map, how tilted will MnM be? They're the ones with the weaker mentality. But, you know, talking about mentality, they're on a high note right now. You know, the morale, the momentum, they can take it through. Even though it's not a map in their favour in comparison to Secret, there's no reason why they can't do this, even though the possibility is a bit slimmer compared to that Border map.
Look, I expect them to be riding the high, as you said, and if they do so effectively, they're going to keep up the same gameplay we saw last map. That could be dangerous on Bank. We can see how many times it pulls them apart, it segregates them, and once they're caught off guard, the pinch will happen from Secret. They know how to attack, and they know how to attack very effectively, so I am worried for MnM in that regard, but they might give us a surprise.
I think yeah, that's exactly the point. MnM so far today have adapted really well. They've changed things up, and it's been clear that they've had 2 or 3 ideas for every attack they've had, for every defense they've had. They've had options all the way throughout. So we could well be in a situation where Secret sort of feel like they've figured MnM out based on what happened on Border, and MnM come out and do something completely different. Yeah,
I'm not too sure what to expect here, because if we saw that first map go to Secret, then I would have been like, you know, this could be a done deal here. This could be a series, clean up duty, let's get it done, and then it's another Secret win. But it's not the case this time. A completely different scenario here. And it's more in the phase of MnM. What do MnM need to do now to really try and close out this second map? Because there was times before, some teams, they get a little bit too comfortable, then it goes to a map 3, then the pressure's back on them, and that's where you see that reverse sweep. But we'll talk about that another time. We'll go for that for map 3, but we are going to go into our second map between these two teams, and we'll go to our casters.
Thank you, Harry, Jess, and Mr. Andrews. Appreciate that. Great breakdown of what we already had in our first map and what we may be looking forward to inside of our second one. So we head into Bank. This is a map which both teams have already played today, and very interesting Banks to say the least, where we've seen both hard breachers playing, or being banned, not being played, but thankfully, we will not be having that today, Ollie. We will be having just nice and standard, is what we're probably more used to.
It really is something that we're more used to, a little bit more in the comfort zone. Again, Mirror being banned as well. That was an operator that managed to sneak through the banning phase when MnM faced off against Vexed earlier on in the day. So Bank being the map bans for Bank being a little bit more typical as to what you would expect. Echo there being chosen to be removed, as the Yokai drone can provide a little bit more power than the Maestro Evil Eye cameras. So Echo going to be the one that's targeted there, and that's going to force Kendrew to switch things up on his defensive rounds, no doubt.
You say that, now he has a Maestro.
It's one or the other, isn't it? You're never going to get the 3 through on Bank, so yeah, he's always got an option.
It's always that triple threat that I talk about. You more than likely should always ban one at least. Maybe if you want to try and go for a different target pick for a Valkyrie or Pulse, then sure, that's viable. But more than likely we are seeing usually 2 out of the big 3. Very rarely, I don't think I've ever seen a match where I've seen all 3 of them being let through, because that is just ludicrous if that happens.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
You will never win an attack.
Going to see a couple of 6 picks off there. Doug be chosen to be switched out by Plebmer. He's going to instead favour the Sledge for maybe the grenades and a little bit more soft destruction. Although we are going to be attacking onto a downstairs objective of lockers, so the hard breach destruction will be few and far between. Alex there, I think they've got plenty of photos of Alex.
That one is just a more B-Tech picture. That's what he actually looks like in real life. Have you find the regular picture that they showed earlier is actually just like a better version we photoshopped. So that one you've seen right there where it's very compressed, yeah, that's literally him.
I think they're going to run out at some point, but I'm enjoying it while it lasts.
Clearly you don't know ESL. I think it'll come to the stage where we will have a meme folder called Alex. That's it. And then everything about Alex is in there. We would have let him away, but he didn't bring the 2 dogs he owns. So that's unfortunate.
I think the chat would like to see Freddie again.
Too bad, he's not here. He's in Leicester.
I know.
Feels bad. One time we're not in Leicester, you know. No dogs. No doggers, no party.
Would have been a nice little holiday for the dog as well, I'm sure. I think the dog would have liked to come up
To Manchester.
Yeah.
Nice holiday.
Big holiday for a dog.
Don't know about that one. Maybe. On the Ash, he has came back to what he had played earlier. Looking at border, Leon took control of that Ash. Didn't really do much with it. Now I'm actually quite excited to see maybe back on this role, because I thought he played an excellent bank. He played that lone attacker to a T. He was that top fragger for Secret. Maybe has really stood out, I think, just this entire season. His stats don't lie. I think it's 1.7 KD, which is quite impressive to say the least. I'm quite surprised that Citizen isn't playing the Pulse in this scenario. Sure, Pulse and Valkyrie are similar operators where they want to try and gain intel, go for C4s, but I think the intel that Pulse gains inside of Gold is way more utilized compared to what a Valkyrie camera would be, simply because you can shoot a Valkyrie camera if it spots you inside a server.
Yeah, you can't compare. The two are uncomparable. Pulse does that job infinitely better than Valkyrie will do. Yep, sure, Valkyrie's got another 2 cameras that you can place elsewhere. It's supposed to just put in all 3 on site with Pulse, but I think you're right there, Demo. I think that the information that can be gathered is certainly holds more value.
Quite smartly from Secret, they have decided to bring a Maverick in addition to that Habana, who did get eliminated early on. But still, I think Secret have all of the control. They've already started to burn some of those smoke canisters from Nello, so he is limited in what he can stall out, and whenever Secret still have nades, I'm sure potentially from Pledma, that could be a good addition. Leon sees the quick peek, but saves just playing it safe, playing it close to the wire, but still holding strong. There's the nade from Pledma. That's Citizen gone. That's the potential C4 off the board, and well, a clean sweep for Secret. The only player falling that round was Stiz. That's a good round from Secret to get things kicked off on Bank.
It's a solid round, and they're going to be very happy with that, I am sure. Border didn't go their way straight off the rip, so to come onto Bank and dominate from the off is what Team Secret are going to need to do. They're going to need to build this momentum now and to try and work with it. MnM didn't really look too sure of themselves there. I don't really feel like they had a solid idea as to how they wanted to hold things. There was a little bit of over-peaking going on as well. Kendry got a kill early on, but was instantly traded out, I believe, from the hatch. I think it was Maverick that was opening up the hatch up above him. Maybe just a little bit of over-aggression. I don't know if MnM have got a bit too confident after that success that they've seen on border, but I feel like they just need to maybe tone it back a little bit now and really just focus on maybe a more traditional hold for Bank.
Now this is the thing about Team Secret, is that they are an excellent team of clearing out roamers. MnM should know this. I don't think, sure, as good as Doki and Citizen may be, I don't really think they should try their hand at going for the roam game, because Secret are very strong at doing so. We know that Leon has that pushing power along with the Lambs. They work quite well. We've seen this duo time and time again. So I would like to see MnM focus more around their anchors, because if you look at border, they were winning it off of their anchor plays. I would like to see some more communication between the players of MnM. Could we see some off-site holds? That's another option they could go for. Just make Secret work a little bit harder than just your average one roamer upstairs strategy.
This round is really going to tell a story, because MnM, despite, I guess, your wishes, are going to go for a 2-man roam. So we've got Citizen playing the Alibi, not an operator that we're very familiar in seeing as a whole at this kind of a level, but not an operator that we're going to see Citizen on often at all. And we've got Doki playing upstairs on the Vigil. If these guys are going to get cleared out so quickly, it's going to make it really difficult for the anchors remaining on site to try and hold on, especially as they've not brought the Maestro this time.
Citizen's a big fan of the Alibi. He plays it sheerly for the gun. He loves MX4 Storm with his suppressor. And I know it's weird, but it's the gun that works for him. Already, 3 frags coming off the board. Leon falls, but straight away, we have the reflags coming in, which is what we know happens time and time again.
Saves there, managing to get a good down onto a player, and Citizen making very good use of the bailiff there to pick up that kill. Finding a headshot, getting traded out is going to be Meepy versus Saves. Lems is still going to be down, and I think we've also got a player laying prone inside of blue. That's something that you're going to really want to push in this 2v2 situation, because if you're going to let Lems be revived as he is being doing now by Meepy, it's going to make things a heck of a lot difficult. But Citizen is going to find the first of two. Lems will trade it back 1 versus 1 now. We've got Doki versus a very lit Lems indeed. Going to be no goo mines that could finish Lems off, so it is going to have to come down to a gunfight. Doki's going to be biding his time. I'm sure that he's working off information. You can see the pings coming through there. Pre-fire shots come out, not successfully. Finds him in the rotate. That's going to be a second round there going to MnM.
That was better from MnM. You can see that the impact that Citizen and Doki are having in this series is second to none. Really putting their neck out on the line for the most part. Another thing as well to keep in mind for MnM is this is a big, important tournament for MnM. This is the one that they want to win most. Sure, they're in Challenger League. Sure, they have the potential to get in Pro League. But this has always meant something because they just want to be known as the best in the UK. They have always, I think, been looked down upon as, oh, you're just the runners-up to Secret. Secret are the best team in the UK. This is really their time to prove everyone wrong and show them that, yeah, we actually are the best and Secret are just starting to slip.
It really is, and it's important for you know, a multitude of reasons, because if MnM are going to make it into Challenge, well, are going to make it through Challenger League and come out as one of the top couple of teams, it's very likely that they could be facing Secret in that relegation match, and they're going to have to be able to beat Secret if they do want to get a shot at that Pro League spot. Now, we know that the teams in Pro League, we know that Secret have been struggling in Pro League this far. If MnM aren't able to beat Secret, what is this? It's almost distracting at this point.
You think that we don't have more? You are surely mistaken, as we will find more.
If MnM aren't able to beat Secret today, then it doesn't bode well if they do want to try and get themselves out of Challenger League. I think they really need to prove to everybody and themselves that they are capable of hanging at that level, and they are going to be capable of taking out a team such as Secret, because that's the quality of play that they're going to be coming up against within the Pro League, if they are to get that far.
So we head up to our top floor bomb site, and MnM have certainly, I think, picked more of the unusual second pick. I think Tellers has been the most favorable because it gives you a good dynamic in terms of roam game and retake strategies. But upstairs is good as well. Typically we see, I think, Mira being highly proven to be a very potent operator for defense, but Mira's not available for Bike, and that's why I think top floor kind of falls off a little bit towards that later end where you don't have that same visibility that you would want to have, and the fact that there is a hard breach compared to what the Maverick that we typically had seen from our previous 2 matches, where it was quite unusual to see both Habana and Fermite being banned. There's a lot of options here for Team Secret.
They certainly have got options indeed. Meepy is going to peek onto Janitor's corridor. I'm not sure if he's working off any information at this moment in time. He's almost certainly heard the goo mine there get placed just inside Janitor's doorway. The wall will start to be opened by the Hibanas. It is shot out at the top, but it's going to be very difficult to try and impact trig onto that, as the Hibanas can be placed a little bit lower, and it does make them a little bit more difficult to trick. Stiz now just looking to try and work his angles, see if there's anybody going to be over peeking out of his recently made Hibana hole, and you can see that there's going to be allowed to another Doki going to find one in the meantime, replied by 2 from Secret very quickly. Leon and Alems finding 1 apiece. That is going to be the man advantage now going in favour of Secret within the first half of the round. And it's going to start to become very uncomfortable on site for the remaining defenders. You can see Doki is receiving shots there from square stairs and the double door, and he's just going to take his time to recompose and reload. I believe we do have a player from Secret out on the rappel, or 2 players out on the rappel on the north, and that is going to go in MnM's favour, especially if these 2 kills come through, which they do. Citizen and Nello finding 1 apiece, 3-2 now in favour of MnM. So they've managed to grab that man advantage back, and they've still got information to be able to work from. Doki does find a bit of information off his Evil Eye before it is destroyed. He's going to look to make a small peek all the way through Meeting Odd into Janitors and finds the head of Meepy. Great game sense there coming out from Doki. All of a sudden we find ourselves in a 3 versus 1. Citizen making a rotation along with Nello up square stairs, and it's almost just a matter of time until Lems is going to come head to head with 1 or 2 of these remaining MnM defenders.
There is potential. Nello and Citizen both on very low HP with a very heavy hitting gun like the 5.52 Commando. There's potential. But still, I think that Doki has the long angles. He has it locked. Probably Doki is the last thing that Alems is worrying about at the moment. It's more so Nello trying to pressure him from below. Constant tags as well from Bulletproof cameras and Maestro cameras alike. And Citizen has the active tags, and that will be an easy cleanup for MnM, as they will manage to recover themselves and take the lead.
They did a very good job of recomposing themselves mid-round there. It looked as though it was going to be a bit of a landslide for Secret as the kills started to come through, but somehow Doki managed to remain safe on site despite the pressure that he was receiving from the windows, and it was enough for him to hold on long enough, grab a kill of his own, and for his teammates to be able to rotate back into positions of power to be able to do something. A very back and forth game so far. You can see the scoreboard just flashed up there for a sec. Citizen continuing his fine form on 5 kills.
In general, for MnM, Citizen has to be, at this stage, gunning for MVP of the tournament, would you say?
I think he's just trying to win those Twitter polls, you know.
You think?
I think that's what's playing into it.
He really loves his Twitter polls.
They mean a lot to him. The KD's just going up and up.
Yeah,
8 now.
I'm pretty sure it was a 1.6
yeah, it was
before
1.6.
we started today's action. So he really has just piled on more kills. And really, Citizen kind of came out of nowhere. I've known Citizen for about 3 years. Me and him used to team back way back in Xbox. I'm going to say this to him. Ben, you weren't really that special. There was nothing about you that made you unique. But over the past 3 months, he has just been completely revitalized. I don't know what happened to him, but all of a sudden, he's just playing like an animal. And MnM has done wonders for him. I think that this team has really suited him and his playstyle. Main attackers and defenders actually been Sophia and Bandit, which I'm quite surprised about. I would have thought that would have been Sophia and Valkyrie.
It just goes to show the flexibility that MnM have got on their defensive rounds. He's got the ability to flex off onto the Bandit when required, the ability to flex off onto the Valkyrie or the Pulse, and that just gives them that, just gives them a little bit more unpredictability. And the teams don't really know what they're going to come up against. They might come up against Doki on the Maestro, or they might come up against Kendra on the Maestro.
Horsepower, that's it. Just a little bit more in the tank.
It just really makes things difficult to start trying to predict onto. And when you're trying to attack onto a solid defensive lineup, you're going to need all of the help you can get in terms of analysis that you can do beforehand. Kendra are going to open things up, however, with a kill onto the only hard breacher off the side of Team Secret, and that is almost certainly going to spell disaster for the remainder of this round.
This has happened twice in 4 rounds already, where we've seen Stiz get eliminated first as the hard breacher. I kind of question the position that he himself is putting himself in. I would like to see Stiz take more of a back seat, especially whenever you're very limited to Thermite. There is options there. And also the fact that Secret have decided to drop that Maverick. They are literally only relying on that Habana.
And it's a lot to rely on. When you've got an operator, when you've got a player like Leon that's not making those entries and not putting himself in contention for those entry frags, it begs the question as to why Stiz is putting himself in that position as the only hard breacher. It is of so much value to Secret attacking onto Bank, especially with the bans coming through the way they have, and the fact that, like you say, they're not choosing to play that Maverick. Meepy going to be putting some shots out, but a very aggressive play there coming out from Nello. It does not pay off for him, unfortunately for him. 4 versus 4 now. And that's going to give a lot of control over to Meepy. He's no doubt going to be able to make his way on in. Doki, however, finds a kill onto Leon. Pre-fire shots coming out. The Alder is going to be able to shoot all day with that thing as he just tries to tag the LMs of IQ over on Inside Archives.
And I come back to the point I made last match between Secret and Wind and Rain whenever we seen this particular bomb site being defended by Secret. The fact that you can extend yourself in towards that Archives makes this bomb site so much more flexible, because first of all, you have another room to sit in. This open area is very compact in what you can do. And also the fact that it just means that Team Secret have to take control of Archives. They have to use utility. It's as if they are attacking at Tellers and Archives, but they're not actually attacking it.
And it's like they've got to get through that to then get through onto the side.
Layers. You know, it's just like a big
like
onion. That's it, yes.
Love it. Citizen putting a few shots there over onto Alems, getting juiced up as well, and that's going to allow him to pick up that kill. 4-2 now. Saves is almost certainly going to find one. No, doesn't quite manage it. Doki picking one up in the meantime. Kendrew closing things out for MnM. A very convincing round there for them.
MnM are looking headstrong to try and take that trophy away from Team Secret. It's kind of hard to imagine that 3 months later, there's such a difference in the MnM. Like, you look about Team Secret versus Vex, and even, Vex beating MnM, the roster was in a bit of a dismay.
The roster's changed heavily. You know, we've got 2 out of 5 now of the original roster on MnM, with the addition of Kendrew, Doki, and Saves. Doki obviously playing for Vexed in the previous ESL Premiership, Saves replacing Fonkers, and Kendrew coming in as well for, I believe, Prox. So it is just such a different lineup. And it's good to see because it shows that, you know, the progression of the team and the vision of the team, because I know the coach and stuff has stayed the same. So they've obviously got a good idea of where they want to go, and they've found some players that they want to build that roster upon, and then they're just adding to it, and it's improving season by season. I'm not even going to comment on those anymore.
That's when Team Secret are about to lose land to MnM face right there.
No, they're not getting any airtime anymore, I'm afraid.
Sure, we'll find some more. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. We'll take them all day long. So we move into our tellers and archives. This will be the 4th bomb site for MnM, and this just shows why we see Bank, why Bank is so versatile, because every bomb site is defendable, and if they manage to do this, that will prove the point. Proof's in the pudding.
MnM are taking us on a grand tour of Bank, displaying all that it's got to offer in terms of bomb sites. And it's not a map that we do see often played throughout the actual season. I think we only saw it one time in the playoffs this season, when Who Knows faced off against Wind and Rain, and Who Knows actually won that map. So very convincingly. But you just don't tend to see it during the online season, and then as soon as we get to LAN, it just seems to be one of those maps that gets played.
It's more so in the online season. Teams will kind of start feeling their way around. We'll see maps like Oregon and Border and Coastline come into the mix as a more popular frag fest, and maybe Consulate picks up in the mid-season. Bank and Villa normally left untouched a lot. Actually, Villa was actually quite played heavily, I think, this season. You know, I think back to that Vexed match where Feral had that amazing smoke, and all that kind of comes into it where teams know that, yeah, don't play these guys in this map. Okay, that means that we have to then play this one, which is very unknown to both teams. And that's what we kind of seen. MnM and both Team Secret coming out of the online season had not played Bank once.
No, so there's not, well, there is information on it because these teams both play in other leagues, so there is going to be some sort of information on there for them to base any sort of you know, analysis work that they want to do off. But looking at the Prem as a sample, there is very limited information that is able to be gained. Much slower round coming out in round number 5. Plebma has lost a large portion of his health, but I'm not sure to what gain that has been. Leon's going to open up the kills with a flurry. Citizen and Kendrew both losing their lives. Meepy, of course, repelled on North Windows. That's been a bit of a staple for him as Ash. I bet he was wishing he had the ACOG to challenge onto that long angle with, but the holographic will have to do for now. The push comes through from Team Secret, looking very good in this round, and it's about time they started doing so because they've been struggling this far.
Lems may be looking to find something to get himself, maybe get a wee bit of frags. We know Lems, he kind of fell off a little bit, I think, during the Pro League season. I know, looking back at Season 8 in the Paris Major, Lems was the top dog. He was gunning people left, right, and center, and still Lems possesses that raw skill. And I think whenever him and Leon start working together, there's not a lot that can really stop that duo.
It's also worth saying that this isn't the team that Team Secret are used to playing with and used to practicing with. Obviously, they do have Bonkers that plays in the Pro League for them instead of Plebma, so it is a little bit of a different thing, and maybe Alems will come into his own as that team synergy progresses. The plant will be successfully put down as Alems does manage to find a kill. Caster's Curse almost there, and Stizzy finds his own onto Doki, so it's all now down to Saves. Not able to do anything, and he's going to get cleaned up as well.
Well, that's Pinnacle for Secret. That is how you take control of a tellers. Nice and simple. You let them have that open area quite smartly from Secret. They see where MnM are setting up. There's a lot of utility really being used for an open area. There's reinforcements at least. Well, you need 4 reinforcements at least. I actually believe they also extend it in towards that kitchen as well. There's a lot of setup that really went into that. Secret say, oh, look, they're going to do that. We'll just push through the front entrance.
And it worked very well for them. Secret making that decision very quickly on in the round and didn't actually waste any time. It was almost just prep phase drone work that they were able to gather that information with, and then all of a sudden switch out the push.
Like, this is the thing about lobby takes. They are really simple, but a lot of teams don't really utilize that. Teams want to try and take from above because they think, oh, if you sledge, you just kill them, and then it's a simple plan. Literally, if you have 2 people watching flanks, 1 watching upstairs and 1 watching that main corridor in that mid floor, all it takes is 1 person to plant, 2 people to cover. Especially whenever you know there's 2 people already in open area holding angles.
Yeah, that can be achieved from the windows, and that's why we see the window play coming out for players like Meepy, repelled on north windows at main door. He's able to cut off the large majority of the rotations upstairs, which does make things very difficult indeed for the defenders. But it is going to allow MnM Gaming to switch things up and take us back up to CEO, which they were successful in. So they didn't have a successful grand tour of Bank, I would say, having dropped Tellers, but I think that is to be expected. They are going to take us back up to CEO, and I'm sure that they are going to do very well indeed. Kendrew, is he going to go for it? Is he going to go for the early run out? No, he's a little bit late. I was expecting a bit of aggression there. I'd like to see that.
I'm surprised MnM didn't go for their lockers, because that was available to themselves for a majority of the time after the CEOs and the Open. They could have went for the lockers again, which they did defend the last time they played. So that is going to be 2 bomb sites that they've went for instead of that lockers, which they did successfully defend. It may have been a little bit clinch-worthy from Doki, but still, it worked well.
I think it was scrappy because it came down to a 1v1 in the round that they won it, and then the first round they defended it, they lost. So maybe they're just a little bit sort of anxious about going back down there because of the win rate that they've got down there. You can't rely on a 1v1 engagement to win the round, and the way that Secret were able to take control of the map and to execute onto lockers was very, very good indeed. That's maybe just not something that MnM are wanting to deal with at the minute. I think CEO went a lot better for them. They did see a little bit of fortune in a couple of the kills that did come out though on that round as well. Alems has opened things up with a kill onto Saves. Saves still just struggling to find the kills that he needs as the Jaeger. And Kendrew is going to look out onto the windows. Citizen backing him up with the kill over onto Plevma. Great teamwork there from MnM. Kendrew identifying the opportunity to take somebody out on the windows, and Citizen seeing that there was a potential flank coming through and covering his teammates back. Steezy, however, has been allowed free reign on into the site. Leon Gids is going to get felled by Doki, but not before Kendrew does take out Meepy. 3 versus 1. Has got it all to do now, and I'm pretty sure that the remaining defenders of MnM know exactly where he is going to be pushing through. He's over inside of CEO. Doki going to find that final kill, and that's going to close out the defending rounds for MnM.
Be a beautiful round, you have to admit, from MnM. The refrags were on point. That play from Kendrew and Citizen, excellent. That's world-class standard right there.
You just don't get better teamwork and synergy than that. Identifying the fact that somebody is in the sort of lobby entrance area, backing up Kendrew as he's getting the kill. Both just players hit the shots.
Bait and switch.
You love the bait and switch.
You love to see it.
It works. It works for a reason.
Looking at the scores on the doors, well, once again, Citizen, Doki, Kendrew on top. Nello Saves. I don't really know. They've been very underwhelming this entire LAN event.
I didn't get a chance to see how many deaths Nello had. I don't believe it's that many. Oh, it's 5, so he's died a lot. He's died 5 rounds out of 6.
Maybe he's just not used to being away from Croatia.
He's got 4 assists. You know, he's providing the utility for his team. He's providing the smoke canisters. Going to be providing the call-outs and maybe jumping on doing a little bit of camera work as well. Nello's always been a very, very good anchor operator.
I think he needs to wear the flag.
To wear it?
He needs to put it around him, to just embrace everything that is Croatian.
Do you think he's looking a little bit like a shark out of water at the moment?
You know what? We've been saying this for a long time, and I know that I kind of started up about the whole who has the biggest nose inside a Premiership. I can 100% confirm Nello's takes it by a mile long. And I'm not saying that size of his nose. Could be, but literally massive. Just want to throw that in there.
I think that everyone's going to take your word for that.
Yes, I think everyone probably, I'm sure you guys, just look at it. Like, come on.
Moving on into round number 7 now. It is going to be Secret's turn to defend on Bank. And they need to start doing something because so far the first map of the series did go to MnM. That was Border. MnM won that one fairly convincingly. Now Secret have got to show us what they've got on Bank. They are at a deficit in terms of man count. Doki on the Ash again. Last round he played on Bank. He finished it off with an ace on this very operator. And I'm sure that he's going to be looking to continue that form as he moves in now against Team Secret. Good control has been taken from MnM. They've got open area control along with a little bit of blue stairs. Citizen just watching for the flank. Gets some good shots in there. Oh, doesn't actually get any good shots, and it did look like he had got a little bit of blood there, but no shots will land there from Citizen. The bars are not doing him any favours at all. You can see Doki's Ash use there, 23%. as it is an operator that is highly sought after within this MnM lineup.
Pretty low for Doki standards, but then again he has been taken back quite a bit. They have put him on more supportive roles, especially looking at his defense. We see him play Maestro a lot as well. Citizen's been doing more, I think, of that soft destructibility work. Sometimes we even see MnM take the Ashe because they know that, yeah, looking at the Sophia, it does most of its heavy lifting. And look at it, 50% off the Ashe rate. Not really that high in terms of how strong Ashe was, and maybe we're just going back into about the whole, oh, she doesn't have an ACOG no more.
It quite possibly could play into it. Meepy going to find the first kill of the round over onto a struggling Nello, not able to get the wall open before he loses his life, and that is going to make things a little bit more difficult for Team Secret. I think he did get a couple of the hatches open up in open area, so that will make things, at least they've got a line of sight down onto the objective. Saves coming in clutch with a kill onto the Lems, and he's also going to be able to use his blowtorch to try and open up this Teller's hatch, but not before he just has a quick peek and tries to find somebody. Shots are landing and he finds Meepy's head with a couple of one-taps. Great kill there coming out from Saves.
Just camera watching there, Meepy. Unfortunate for him, and well, tags come in. Citizen takes full advantage of Leon playing a risky ball game underneath the hatch, and well, will pay for it with his life. Doki and Kendry ready to storm in and try and take control of the bomb site, but a couple of smoke grenades will hold them back for the meantime. 15 seconds to go, still time. Still plenty of time. All it takes is that 1 second to go for the diffuser plant. Saves, finds Plebma, unsuspecting of that main stairs, and an easy cleanup from MnM as they storm past that defense, and well, they are getting ever so closer to that trophy.
Saves going really big there, picking up a 4K, and that's something that he's going to need. He's not at the best tournament. It is something that we have commented on, but on his attacks, he has been better than on his defensive rounds. He's picked up 4 kills there, and that's catapulted him to 3rd place in the leaderboard in terms of kills, and he's got to be very pleased with that. You know, he needs to, as the fragging operator that's been brought in, he does need to see if he can find those kills, and he showed us that he's more than capable of that there, as he did manage to land his shots onto a good number of the Team Secret players. MnM, only 2 rounds separate them between this and the Grand Final Championship.
This could be it. This could be the day for MnM to finally say, we beat Team Secret, and who knows, in the next couple of months we could be saying that again. If worse comes to worse for Team Secret.
It's more than possible, and you know, MnM are really going to be looking at this and thinking, we need to be able to beat Team Secret if we are going to have a good chance in Challenger League. And it's just something that you can't ignore it. It's not that it's almost pointless going through Challenger League if you can't beat a team like Secret, but they're at that level now and need to operate and perform like they are at that level. And they've showed it to us so far. I'm very impressed with what I've seen. The last time that we saw these two face off against each other, it billed it as almost Clash of the Titans Part 2. It was on Oregon. It was a hell of a game. Secret only needed 4 rounds to be in with a chance of the 1st seed spot, which they were able to get. MnM still fought right until the bitter end and brought it to a draw, 6-all. Yeah. So they've showed us that they're able to work on the things that they need to work on as a team. Oregon is a map that Secret are known for. MnM would have been very happy with that result, but to now come on to LAN and to take the first map and to have such a convincing bank, incredible. And
I know for a fact, Funkers have probably sent home thinking, haha, that's what you guys think. I have a big say in that match, and certainly I'm sure if that does become a thing, then he will.
And that's going to be the differentiating factor when, you know, if MnM do make it to Challenger League.
So we head into round number 8. We could be looking at a quick finish for MnM on bank. Looking at the maps, I really thought Secret were going to cinch the bank. I thought that the dynamics that you have Leon on the roam game, maybe it's because we didn't see Secret start off on the defense. That's also another thing, the mentality game that we come back to. If you go down rounds very early on, that does play into it a little bit.
It does, and we've spoken how MnM are a momentum-based team. To come out and to win a good couple of defenses in a row and to gain that momentum, then move on to the attacking rounds and continue that fine form, it can be difficult, especially for a player like Leon, because it's not that he's momentum-based, but everyone plays it better if you've just had a decent round, and if you've got some good rounds on defense and you're feeling like you've got the run of your teeth, all of a sudden you're going to start doing very well on attack. But if you're feeling like you're getting shut down in your attacks and things aren't quite working, it's going to play into the mindset, and it's going to make you just be a little bit more conservative on the defense, and that's what we're seeing coming out from Leon so far, especially with the operator picks that he is going for. Lems does grab the first kill of the round over onto Citizen, and that is going to be the Sophia no longer in the round.
if I'm not mistaken, we call this something. We call this an F in chat. Pay respects. Everybody in the audience, well, unfortunate, but hey, everybody press your Fs if you can. But yeah, we will try and get back into that as quick as we can. So, looking at it, Ollie, that was pretty interesting in terms of what we've already seen. MnM taking the early lead, and then we head into a Lockers defense next for Secret, which I think is a must-do-or-die round.
It's a huge round for Secret. They really do need to win that round. If they don't, then I certainly expect them to switch up the bomb site next time and look toward a CEO, as it's something that they need to start doing now. They can't keep letting MnM gain these rounds and to gain that lead, because quite quickly MnM are going to find themselves on match point, and Secret are going to have a big job to do. You can see the season stats there. We did see these a little bit earlier, and the tides have shifted, and all of a sudden kill to death ratio is now in favor of MnM Gaming. They have been getting the frags, they have been left unanswered. I think those 3 flawless rounds on Border are going to play very heavily into that statistic indeed. I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. It's been a very good match, very entertaining match.
Overall, MnM have had more of those round wins. They have been a lot more dominant. A defense I want to really break down and go into would have to be that CEO. I think that, or not CEO, the open area defense. So very unique bomb site, as we know. And I love that they've kind of changed ways compared to what we've seen Secret do in their open area. Secret played it with the Clash. They played it a lot more conservative. They didn't extend that heavy in towards archives. We just seen MnM literally put so much utility and reinforcements in towards that archives. It made that Secret would have to push that. They just can't go for this simple plant. We know that trying to jump in through single window right beside the A bomb site, that's not viable because there's a full soft wall that anybody can kill you from.
It's interesting that you bring that one up, because we've seen it from both sides now. We saw it be defended from the open area side, with the open area being the bomb site. Yeah. MnM invested a lot of utility over inside of archives and tellers, like you say. And they managed to hold it. They held it very successfully because they extended onto the bomb site. They had a rotation in between, like you say. They reinforced it. Brilliant. Switch things round. Have open area as the bomb site. Sorry, have archives as the bomb site, and try and defend from open area. It didn't work for them. They weren't able to execute. Yeah. They weren't able to keep that control. I love what they did the first time, but I think they need to sort of understand what happened for the second time and just make sure that next time that they try and defend into that bomb site, that they're not overextending themselves too much, because top floor control is very, very important. And more typically, you would have roamers that sort of defend from the top floor and to try and make sure that that floor is not going to be opened. Yeah, that's going to be a much better option, I think, as opposed to trying to overextend yourself where it doesn't suit, because you don't have the rotation potential outside of open area for that such objective.
So apologies once again for the delay that we have, but everybody is starting to feed back into that lobby, and we'll be back as quick as we can. So as it stands, MnM, they took the first map, and we are currently on our second, and it is still technically series point as well, even though it seems like a very quick final for this massive, massive battle between these teams. It is, I think it is going to be a big test in Secret to see their mentality. Looking at them, I thought, I already know, looking at Leon, there's something up.
They look a little bit downbeat, but how many times do we talk about momentum shift? How many times, whenever there's any sort of break, doesn't matter how long it is, teams change. MnM are hot at the minute. They are really, really hot, and they're doing a very good job of maintaining that momentum. We've talked about them being a momentum-based team. Those guys need to hold their heads in this break, and they really need to stay focused, and they need to go, yeah, it's a little break, no big deal. We're going to keep in the zone. We're going to make sure that we're still in the right frame of mind to take these rounds moving forward. Because if Secret are having the right, if Secret are having the right conversation now, they're sat there going, guys, what are we doing? We need to pick up these next couple of rounds, and we need to pick them up very well. We can't afford to make any mistakes. We need to be capitalizing on any mistakes that MnM make, and we need to be looking to take this to a third map, because Secret aren't going to want to not retain this title ship. They won it last time, and they're going to want to win it again.
MnM and their defense have been extremely strong throughout today. I have to admit, it has been very dominant. I think straight off the bat, MnM, they set the tone. They set the pace in terms of how the match is played and how everything is done. But certainly that will have to be decided as we will hopefully jump back in. As we continue on with where we left off, it will be 5 rounds to 2 in favor of MnM as we continue on with Bank.
Yeah, and we hadn't really got to the sharp end of that round yet, so I'm sure that both teams will be pretty happy. Moving on back in now, you can see all the players back in the lobby and everything is good to go. As you rightly say, 5 rounds to 2. MnM very well placed to take this series and this map. Secret, they've got a lot of fighting to do. I'm sure that we're going to be seeing a lot of Secret fightings in the chat, and you know, they need all the help they can get at this point because they're going to have to start chaining these rounds together.
Or if you want to try and support your famous marshmallows in all their glory, you can type in for the flame, which I'm sure there's many of those as well. You have options out there, guys. Pick wisely. Or you could just, you know, keep spamming wind and rain. Who knows?
Copy pasta?
Could do. Could
Why
do.
not?
Could do my one. Actually, my one's kind of freaked me out a little bit.
I'm sure there's a lot of the...
Somebody called Jimmy. I'm sure everybody knows about Jimmy. Not impressed.
I'm sure there's a lot of the Ben copy pasta going around for Citizen.
Yeah, I know Citizen. He's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy. Call him Ben.
I shouldn't have done this. What have you done? What have you done to me? You broke me.
Moving on into round number 8 now, and we have got a successful round underway. It is going to be downstairs onto lockers, as I do believe that was the bomb site that was chosen before we had the small technical hitch. Plebman just going to be upstairs reinforcing the hatches pretty late, it is fair to say. Already 30 seconds in, heavy garage push coming through now from MnM, and Alems is going to find himself in a very sticky situation very quickly as Doki kindly removes his head and opens up the kills for MnM. The players of Team Secret now have got a big decision to make. They're going to have to try and rotate onto this garage. But they made a lot of fuss getting to that point, and I think this is quite defensible for Secret in this scenario because all MnM are going to have to do is they're going to have to find picks to be able to open up this site, open up this, you know, angle and avenue that they want to try and get in through. Kendrew all alone over in servers as well could easily be singled out.
Garage is very underutilized. The reason why I love to see Garage, just as much as I love to see those shots from saves, maybe does find Doki, but whoa, more kills come in. Stiz finds Kendrew before Kendrew gets that retrade. Citizen as well, he's deep inside of gold. And already we have seen this round come in massive for MnM. My oh my Ollie. What was that? Rush B?
Rush B.
Wow, Doki still holding on. That's where the strat book went. Gig stole it from last season. Not impressed.
That's straight out of the strat book. Rush B. It doesn't get...
See, that's why MnM beat Vex, because they had all the strats.
They knew what they were going to do.
Yes.
Could make the predictions. Match point now for MnM. They're doing a very, very good job of this indeed. See the scoreboard there. Unfortunately, it isn't going to tell the full story. We did have a good couple of rounds before this rehouse, but saves continuing on his good form. He's managed to pick up 2 kills in that round as well, so seems to be hitting his stride the further we get into this tournament, which is great to see because he is going to need to maintain that level of performance moving forward in this roster.
If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the first Twitch we have here at the finals, and Kendrew, this was his, I think, his old favorite operator before they had, you know, showing a new team. You have to shuffle your operators about quite a bit. So he's going to be playing the Twitch. Intriguing about Twitch is we never really see her play unless Amira is available. Yeah. Literally, it's quite sad to say, because Twitch, you know, the shock drone's there. I think that shock drone could maybe use a little bit of something just to kick her back into the meta, especially with the way that bans are going. Mira is as strong as she will ever be. But the F2 is such an enjoyable gun to use, and also an enjoyable gun to watch. We see some great compilations of, you know, the F2 just ripping into everybody it comes against. Because right now, honestly, with the fact that R4C does not have the ACOG, it has to be the best gun in the game.
It has to be, and that's a very good reason for Kendrew to try and choose it. We've seen in that last round just how confident MnM were going into the gunfights. They were very convinced in what they want to do. They had a very clear idea, and they just went through and got the frags for fun. I'm sure that's what we're going to see this round as well, with Kendrew making that change. As, you know, like you say, the F2, what more could you ask for in a gun at this stage in Siege? The Twitch drone does leave a little bit to be desired, I will admit that. But there are some alibis out there. You could be dealing with those. You could maybe deal with a few goo mines. You can disable an a Maestro camera, and you can obviously, you know, remove the black eyes if you get into a position to do so. So, you know, there's some uses for it. It's a little bit slower. It's a little bit of a, you know, more unconventional drone to use. You can't jump. So there are downsides.
What's your thoughts on Alibi? Because mine has always been you play Alibi for the gun.
I genuinely think you play Alibi for the gun. Like, there's use in putting it into doorways. I mean, look at how Meepy's playing it here. There's 3 Alibis there, all in lobby, and I think it's going to be down to Doki to make sure that he chooses the right one, because Meepy's holding a bit of a cheeky angle there, just through the railings. You can see very low pick rate there. Kendra, unfortunately, despite all our good talk about the F2, is going to lose his life very early on, quickly followed by saves, as Leon does start to grab a couple of kills for his team. Doki very tentatively pushing through here, and I guess the Alibi is wasting a lot of time, but I don't think it's a reliable operator to do that with.
It's kind of scared Doki into pushing, because it is a fun house. It's the house of mirrors. What one is real, we'll never know. As Plasma, somehow you find Doki. I think that was from the little pixel peek as well. This has been an excellent round from Secret. They've kept their composure, and, well, MnM, they still have so much confidence. They have all of it in their control. Sure, they let one round slip, but overall, should be no worries.
It should be no worries, but we have seen MnM lose round after round before. Sometimes they do just struggle to get themselves over the line, and you know, that's not a position that they really want to find themselves in now, because as we said, they are within 1 round of this match point and series point. It is very important for them to close this out as soon as possible, because as soon as Secret start to gain some momentum, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Nello searching out this kill down in open area. I'm not sure if he's got a good line of sight or not. I think it's Leon that's playing down there, just prone. Citizen is going to be down, not able to be withstood. Leon is going to grab that one onto Citizen. Nello finds one for his trouble, but it's likely to be impactless at this point, as he is in a 1 versus 4 with only 25 or so health remaining. He's going to choose to drop. Time is not on his side. If he'd have pre-fired that, he would have maybe found one, but no! The crossfire has been established, and Leon grabs another kill for his team, securing that round for Team Secret.
It's something. It's something that Secret can try and play off on. So that's their tellers. Their lockers has not went well. I would like to see that open area being chosen again, just to keep the players of MnM on their toes. Looks to be that they're going to be headed upstairs for their CEO, and for the most part, whenever we've seen Wind and Rain play against Team Secret, CEO was very weak for Secret. It was very weak. You know, they played it once, and they lost it once.
Yeah, I mean, MnM did well on their defense of CEO. I'm not sure if that's because of how the bans have played out this time. Obviously, in that previous matchup, we had both hard breaches banned, which makes it a lot more defensible. Hibana's available, so there's certainly option to start opening up the walls and to try and apply that pressure on into sight, especially if you're able to get anybody out on North Rappel safely as well. They're going to be able to cut off that rotation as well, and that's really what I think MnM are going to be looking to do now. They're going to be looking to try and get onto the North Rappel, get the windows open, get Nello into square stairs, open up the reinforced walls that Pledman is reinforcing now, move on into sight that way and try and make the push happen through there.
Another thing to keep in mind is that whenever we did see Vexed versus MnM earlier today, MnM attacked CEO 3 times, and they won 3 times.
And that's without hard breaches.
Yes. Which is actually,
impressive.
That's more impressive to do so, because you do not have that typical take Skylight, walk in, plant the bomb scenario, which is typically what we always see. That's why CEO, I think, is quite frowned upon, because you can just hold those ACOG angles for days. You can also then have an attacker repel outside the outside windows. You literally squish everything into a box until it just starts bleeding everywhere.
Meepy going to have some information to see if he's able to peek onto anybody playing on side of Garage. Doki going to find himself on the windows. He did find a really nice kill against Vexed from a very similar angle on the window. Citizen going to be joining him as well, as the pressure is going to be mounting. Not sure if it's Meepy or Leon that's going to look to try and challenge onto those window players, as they are almost sitting ducks for anybody that is brave enough to get themselves down into lobby.
Surely there has to be a Valkyrie camera outside these windows. If Secret have done their research and they've done their knowledge, they should know, oh, hold on a minute. Doki kind of went off in this window. He got an ace from it. Shouldn't we maybe try and put something in conjunction to try and counter this? And, well, Leon looks like he's going to try and do so, as he's already killed the flank protection. That saves off the board. So it does put Doki at much more of a riskier angle as he starts getting lit up, and Citizen will have to try and go and take up that position off his fallen comrade.
I think that the damage has been done at this stage by Leon. Doki's now got it in the back of his mind that somebody could be peeking him onto the window. Saves has lost his life trying to watch the flank. Kendrew is going to find a kill for his troubles over onto Meepy, bringing it to a 4 versus 4. But Doki is going to be allowed to continue his reign of terror on the windows. And he grabs the kill onto Plebma. Citizen now able to protect him as well. Lem's going to find that C4 kill. The Citizen's going to look to make his way up the stairs. Doki very lit at this moment in time. Probably not got more than a couple of challenges left into him, as I think Leon is looking to try and close Doki out. He knows he's going to be very lit at this moment in time, and all Citizen's got to do is bide his time for Leon to push down those stairs.
Also, Citizen, he has a lot of utility. He has both of those stuns available. He could just throw them up and try and go for the push. That is a completely viable strategy. Doki, on such low HP, don't think he's going to be able to do much just sitting on the windows. Sure, he managed to get 1 kill for his troubles, but that's probably all he's going to be getting, because the players from Secret know not to peek. Nello has also been down by Stiz and his aggressive peeks, but still, Doki swings on in. That's going to be no good to him either, as Stiz will find him as well, and it goes into a 1 versus 3. Citizen trying his best, but really, any kills he gets are going to be impactless. Alems and Stiz should be able just to have the synergy, be able to talk to each other. However, we may see Citizen try and go for the revive, and this does give them something on the board, but still a very big ask. With that new reset, whoop, Citizen gets things going. However, Leon has also been picked up. So we have seen double revives. That means both of those revive players are now on 20 HP, with Citizen and Alems both being on 100. Leon will find Nello. It goes into a 1 versus 2. Shots rattle in, and Leon will find the last one. Starting to rally, Secret. Starting to rally.
Secret are starting to rally, but it is very close. Very close indeed. I think that had Doki had a little bit more support from his team, and if some people, if the attackers had been able to make the defenders rotate within the site, he could have found a little bit more joy in the windows. As it stands, he possibly played them for 30 seconds too long, and he would have been better off rotating off with Citizen and trying to develop some crossfires and at least get a trade, because he was very low health at that point. The best he can hope for is to be a little bit of bait for his teammate and for Citizen or Nello to come in with a kill over his shoulder. As it stands, Secret are chaining the rounds together now.
So that's 2 on the bounce for Secret. Still, MnM, they have that safety net. They have another 2 chances at trying to lock out this, or else it will be going to overtime, and then we could lead on to a 3rd map if it goes that way. But knowing MnM, they want it done. They want it here, and they will do it on bank if they choose to do so. So we head down to the lockers. Last 2 previous attempts for Secret on lockers has been MnM wins. They need to change something, Ollie. From my understanding, it has literally just been, the roam game has been non-existent from Team Secret.
This time we're seeing Leon on the Legion.
Strange.
Leon's had 7 kills in 2 rounds. He's doing very, very well for himself. I think it was a 4K that he managed to pick up in the previous round we just saw. You see 7-1. He stepped it up. The break's been good to him. I know he looked a little bit disheartened when we were, going through and looking at the players' point of views and stuff, and we were having the panning shots across the players playing. He looked a little bit disheartened. I feel like he's giving himself a little bit of a talking to there, and he sort of said, "Come on, Leon, step it up. Don't let Citizen take all the glory.
Yeah.
Get some kills and bring your team right back in it." You said very rightly, if there's one player that is going to make the difference in this Secret roster, it is going to be Leon starting to chain some kills together.
Leon Gids is one of the best fraggers inside of EU. That's a fact. We've seen this guy dismantle teams after teams. You look what he did to G2 earlier in the season. He single-handedly carried that team. And speaking of him, he gets things kicked off with a kill on to Say. So that's a good start. And again, him as a Legion, there is potential for a roam game. He can throw goo mines to try and cover his trail. It gives him a sound indication. However, he runs into Doki, and Doki will make quick work of him. That will be the down, and the pistol finishes it off. And it goes into a 4 versus 4. But Leon got a kill for himself, and there's the refrag. That's going to be Meepy finding Nello.
Losing Nello at this stage is not going to be good for MnM at all. Kendrew does, however, find the late refrag onto that one as well, and he's going to be challenged again, but Alems is going to be able to win that engagement. Citizen trading it out. This is great to see from both these teams. Kills being traded blow for blow. It's now down to Citizen and Doki versus Stiz and Plebma. A lot of deniability left on the side of Team Secret, but having said that, a lot of time left for the attackers. Over half of the round, and it's allowing both of them to get into the drones and to figure out their last final bits of information where the push could be coming from. Citizen as well, as you pointed out, plenty of utility along with Ash.
He has utility, he has the stuns, he has the destructibility, even a Claymore that I believe he's placed on the flank as well. So a Stiz or Plebma attempt to go for a rotate. There's options there for them. Citizen may be looking to try and bunk up beside Doki, and Doki on low HP. This should be simple enough for Plebin to land a couple of shots to the Alda, maybe even a Toxic Babe could do the damage as they may be looking to go down the main stairs. This is just going to be a bottleneck. This should be the lockout for Team Secret. They have Stids, they have Plebma. These are the two anchors, these are the two supports. If there's anybody you want in a clutch situation for Secret, it's going to be Stids. We've seen the guy clutch up time and time again. Here comes a bit of utility, that's the Maestro camera off the board for Team Secret. MnM finally using that bit of utility, and this is where Citizen and Doki are going to have to start coming in. Toxic Babes on the stairs will deny Doki for the meantime, as Citizen may be looking to go aggressive. As Stiz going to be hearing, actually it's not going to be Stiz, it's going to be Plebma playing up close and personal with the Alda. I think they have a suspicion, and here comes the Sophia charges. One will go in, two will go in, Doki finds Stiz. Could this be it? Plebma inside of the 1 versus 2. He finds one onto Doki, but that will be it. Often known as the second best team in the UK. Today they take that away from Team Secret as they are your ESL Premiership champions for Season 3 of Rainbow Six.
And just look how much that means to the guys on the side of MnM. All of them very, very pleased with that result, and they should be. They played that very well indeed. To go up against a team such as Secret and to come out with a result like that is very enthusing for those guys. That last push, perfect. Absolutely executed to perfection. And who better to get the final kill than Citizen? He's had a fantastic tournament, he's had a fantastic day today, and he definitely deserves that one.
By MVP, by a long shot, you have to give credit. Citizen and Doki, stand-out players. If it wasn't for those two turning up today, MnM, I don't even know if they would even got past Vexed.
No, you're right in what you say. You can't always rely on good individual performances, but it always helps when you've got a couple of members of your team that are really going to step up on the day. They're both known for their fragging potential, and they've showed us that they're capable of that today.
Well, that will be us done here as, well, MnM, they have managed to finally do it. They've beat Team Secret. Any final remarks from you, Ollie?
I'd just like to say what a great day it's been here at Manchester. The crowd has been fantastic. Everybody in the room has, I think, thoroughly enjoyed themselves. The players have put a great show on, and I don't think there's much left to say, but thank you very much from myself, XR Troika, and Demo. Thank you very much from Demo indeed as well. We are going to throw you back over to the analyst desk, and Harry is going to run us through this final few seconds.
That's right, who would have thought it? MnM Gaming taking that series 2-0. Definitely an upset on my part, and we never would have expected this. We knew it was going to be a close series, but Secret getting taken down like that in quite comfortable fashion there.
Look, I think Bank was a lot closer than Secret had expected, and then they were able to take it. That was a wild finish there, and I was really proud of MnM to pull it together there, especially after they had that slight break in the middle as well.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, fair to hand that to MnM. We don't even need to look for mistakes on Secret's part because there was, you know, there was the odd one, but nothing drastic. MnM went and won that. They really took the game by the scruff of the neck. Citizen and Doki having an absolute field day, just getting in there with absolute confidence. No pause in the stride, no messing about, just happy to take the gunfights, and they've really won it for the team now.
Yeah, they had such confident gun skill. They just seemed so comfortable, and they clearly carried that momentum over from that first map. And, you know, we spoke about it before, that, you know, could Bank be a little bit too much for them? It wasn't the case at all.
Absolutely, I'm very proud of them. And look at this. This is just a gorgeous moment for MnM. Wow.
That really is, you know, the payoff, isn't it, for all the work that they've put in. We've seen them come through a couple of seasons of Premiership now. They've made it into Challenger League, and I'm sure that it'll be really important to them. Out of all the things that they have achieved and won, that's going to be really up there at the top for them because, you know, it's basically where they've come from.
That's right. It just shows hard work does pay off there. They said in an interview before, 6 days a week, all the hours in the world just to try and get here to accomplish this win, and they deserve it more than any team here. And Secret, they may have struggled. Commiserations to them. They worked hard, but MnM was just too much.
Look at that, and massive shout out to almost every single player on that team. I didn't feel like there was a single player that dropped the ball whatsoever, and that's why that beautiful, gorgeous trophy is held very high and very proudly, and they absolutely deserve that. So well done to each and every one of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Harry. Secret certainly played the part. Leon had a fantastic flurry towards the end. He really nearly did drag them back into it with a couple of great starts and 3 or 4 kills. But ultimately, once again, as we've seen all day, MnM adapted, did exactly what they needed to do. Dorky got in there, shut Leon down, and that was all that it really needed, I think, to swing that round. That's
right. If they play like that in the Challenger League further going into the future weeks, it's going to be quite worrying for some of these teams considering how strong they are. You know, their coordination, their gunfire, their skills, their strategies, everything just came into one. And sometimes when you've got 2 teams very closely matched like that, we've got a team like MnM just absolutely on fire, it's so hard to actually shut down in more ways than one.
I think when you've got a team like MnM and they're that consistent, that often, and it shows. It doesn't matter if it's LAN, it doesn't matter if it's online. I think MnM are just rolling with it, and they've got a lot of team synergy there. We saw one round that they were able to throw together a Citizen pinch across front lobby, and then I don't even know who was repelling at that point. We had Kendrew trying to ACOG, and the fact that Citizen was able to have his back so directly and so quickly, I felt like that was one of those key areas of team play that you just don't get to see often. Yeah,
it was something that we commented on at the time here on the desk, and just the synergy that showed between them as a team. To develop that so quickly, Kendrew's not been in the team for that long either, and for Citizen to be reacting to his shot call like that, for Kendrew to see that situation and think, I need healing, I've got Citizen 20 feet away, and to just call it for him to move in, and Citizen to understand and carry that out so quickly. As you said, Jess, at the time, Citizen just wants to shoot people. So give him an opportunity, tell him where there's a body, and he's going to go for it, and that's exactly what happened. And it just showed really, as a team, how well they're gelling, and they really are a dangerous prospect.
That's right. Even speaking of Kendrew as well, you know, he's really stepped up. In the Premier League, like he was playing well anyway, but this series, this event, the entire day, there was no way of stopping him. It was only one map, maybe played slightly bad on, but when I say bad, I mean like around the neutral area. But every kill he got meant something. It wasn't a pointless one, which you can get quite a lot with some of your fragging abilities, but he was just really on form this event.
Honestly, I think the big thing about Kendrew, for example, is that he's a big shot caller. He's a massive shot caller, and I think if he gives a call, it's something that his team clearly listens to. Back when he was with Pact, he was also known as the shot caller, the one that gives you the comms that you can trust. So I think coming into MnM, there's no doubt that he is the shot caller. He's one of the big shot callers for them. You've got guys like Doki and stuff who are feeding off that information, and I think that's just great that they can use a lot of intel, not just intel ops, but they can use each other's communication, and you can tell, you can see the red pings going off from drones, you can see the yellow pings going off, and it's a beautiful use of intel, and it's a type of siege we don't really see very often anymore. People are face checking, but MnM's doing a bit of both, a little bit of a fusion.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think as a team they deserve every superlative that's thrown their way today. They really do. Even, you know, we saw Saves have a quiet game for a lot of today, and that's not really a criticism as such, but he can play better than that, and I'm sure he'd tell you himself he can certainly get more involved in the fragging. But that said, he's had a quiet day, and then look at them last few rounds that he had. He came out with a 4K in one of them with an absolutely beautiful shot from Garage through onto Maestro, and it really opened the round up for his team, and he just moved in and got another couple and really finished things off. So even when you've got your players who maybe are having a little bit of a tough day are going to come out with players like that, brilliant.
Yeah, how could you stop that? You know, there's so many things we could talk about, especially in those situations and scenarios you spoke about there. And we do have an interview over on the stage with the winners with Caroline.
Thanks a lot, Harry. So I'm joined again by Gig and the rest of the MnM gaming team. First of all, congratulations. That was incredible. The crowd went crazy. I don't know what people were expecting. I think, you know, given like last time you came second, there was a lot of pressure here for you guys to win. How does it feel to have done it?
It just means everything. Like that's a Pro League team. They're one of the best teams in the world, and we've just beat them 2-0. Like, it's just crazy. No one would have thought that. We've done it. We beat them. We're the best team in the UK.
Well done. What do you think changed from last season to this season?
Well, we've got 2 different players. The team now, compared to what it was, is just miles better, and this team can go far. We can be one of the best teams in the world.
So what's next for all of you then? So you think you can be one of the best teams in the world. What is next in your minds? Where do you want to go?
Well, we're underway in Challenger League, currently 3rd. 2 big games on Monday, go and win both flows, keep doing well, keep grinding, and get into Pro League. That's the next step.
Well, best of luck to all of you. Honestly, incredible job. Well done. You deserve that trophy so much. Phenomenal. Everybody, please give a hand up to MnM Gaming.